DreamHack Masters Malmö is brought to you by Aces ROG, HyperX, and Monster Energy.
Up against the ropes, Immortals stand against Fnatic. They did not quite pass go versus G2, and they've been given one last chance versus the Swedes, who want to go ahead and play in front of that home crowd. We've been through groups A, B, and C, and in this best of three, someone's going to get knocked out and be given the D. It's going to be tough. My name is Machine, and I'm joined by some beautiful humans to go ahead and shed light on potentially another 3 maps. This group has seen every map possible so far, as has its sister C. I'm joined by Halvor Vendetta Gudstad, Chad, Sponge, Birchall. You keep thinking it's going to come, I'm never going to give it to you. And of course, Jacob Pimp Vinica, all of which have been much better than me at Counter-Strike at one point or another.
I love that opening. I love the energy. Let's shake off that negativity from the last segment.
It's gone. Do you like that?
Yeah, let's get rid of it.
Ooh, a little shudder.
I had a question. I thought, because you do a lot of desk hosting, Alex, a lot more than most. Have you ever done a selfie on air?
Oh my lord.
Should we do one?
Why though?
Why not?
Is this just because you want more Twitter followers?
Oh, I would like some.
This is going on his Instagram. That's the thing.
You can do it if you want.
Hashtag. No, I thought you got a good angle up there.
Right,
you can get the whole gang in.
Right.
Get the whole gang in.
Why are we doing this?
I just thought we were being less negative.
Oh, I see. We're going to okay, let's do a selfie.
And you know
but, are we doing
positive?
a silly one? Are we doing like a cool one?
Well, pick your own pose.
Okay.
Can we pose
I'm
with this?
gonna smile. You can pose with that, right? Everyone look happy. Pretend we're happy. That's
There we
good.
go.
There
All right.
we go.
So now, hashtag
What's the hashtag?
DH Masters.
Promoting social media. Excuse me.
Yeah, get us involved.
DH Masters, if you want to get involved. I'll tweet that right now, Chad. But first of all, I want to start some degree of a discussion because...
Okay.
It's
do
disappointing.
you know who else takes selfies?
The Immortals play.
The Immortals boys, when they're out
Their
on the
Instagram
town.
is lit.
It is. That's dumb lit. They're just always partying and they're always fragging. And these are the boys that I still can't seem to pinpoint. This has been the same discussion. Even when they were Tempo Storm, Jacob, I couldn't get my head around them. It's this discussion of consistency and style, and this discussion of a balance of power between, where does the leadership come from? Fallen from, kicked from Fallen's team, and still fragging and still making it to the grand final of a major. It's a really tough team to find, kind of place.
Sort of always been named as the leftovers, from Fallen's previous teams, and I don't think that's a fair label to give them anymore. They made a major final last major, they've shown themselves they can stand on their own feet, and Immortals have been playing, I'd say, better and better and better, like throughout the last year. You see some of the talent that comes into Immortals, like Steel, for example, like picking up his game to a new level. You see Kenji coming in from nowhere and picking up his level to a level where he's I'd say one of the best Orbers in NA right now. That can be discussed, I'd say.
Yep.
So there's a lot of talent on Immortals, and there's a lot of potential leadership. You don't know who leads right now. As far as I know, it's Bolt's back to leading, so Steel's a bit free again in that sense, and we could maybe see that in his performance yesterday. So there's still some questions that we need to get answered by this Immortals lineup, especially after the whole shuffle rumor that happened in the player break. I think they need a positive tournament here at DreamHack Masters in order to keep continuing. Otherwise, I think it'll be hard for them to keep on going.
Now, an elephant never forgets, and neither does a Norwegian. Playing against G2, you can talk us through that best of 3, because they got double digits to end 4-3 maps. They took a map versus a scary-looking G2.
They did.
But I do also remember you being quite critical of both teams after that best of 3.
Well, it's kind of like both teams kind of falling back on their own mistakes, and that's how they lose track of maps where they definitely have a fighting chance for both sides. So that's more that you kind of hope to see them progressing at some point on those very mistakes, because it's a very common theme amongst them. Outside of that, I think if you want to compare them to Fnatic, obviously we've only seen the best of one of them, so it might be a bit of an unfair comparison. But I think Immortals have looked better in that sense. And again, taking a map like Infernal away from away from G2 is no small feat.
It was G2's pick as well.
Yeah,
but
Fnatic, right?
This whole group has been close. Like every matchup in this group has been super close.
Galore.
And even the opening match where Immortals took on Fnatic on Cobblestone was a very close match. And that was one that, you know, I actually thought Fnatic and their new system, the new style with Golden was going to be something coming on top. But KNG, Henny with the AWP, they're able to really get those entry frags, be a very penetrating force, and stop them from setting up. You love that word, Alex. It's a bit like moist, isn't it?
No, it's not like moist, because moist makes my toes curl.
In the best possible way.
Yeah.
I just want to build on what Jacob was saying about the Steel and the Bolts thing, right? I think every time Bolts has been the in-game leader of this team or this second Brazilian roster, because there have been so many different names over the years, is that they've looked more dangerous. And Bolts has always looked like he knows his place when he's the in-game leader. I think he plays better as well once he's in-game leading, which is a very interesting thing. Not every player is able to do that. And Steel, especially in the last few tournaments, has stepped right up. He is looking like a big contributor when in the past he looked like a bit of an anchor, and not in the sense of a bomb side anchor
he's
at the bottom of the scoreboard. And then now you've got KNG, who appears to be the consistent star, getting it done with the AWP, the pistols, the rifles, everything. That allows Henny to be more sporadic, because for such a long period of time, we were talking about this guy on your screen right now being an issue for this squad. Sometimes he can rock up and be one of the best AWPers in the world. Other times he can rock up, miss every shot, get caught in smokes, give away early advantages, and put you in a man disadvantage before the round even gets started.
So there is the question I have to pose, and it is quite the cutthroat or brutal one, but is there, you know, seeing how we found KNG, you know, roaming around and at LAN cafes in Brazil and killing everyone. Now, my question to you now is there another KNG lying around that is a bit more consistent than Henny? And does Henny play a vital role now when KNG's rocking it with the AWP as well?
I mean, they've already, you know, got a sixth player. Yeah.
Jesus. So, that can of worms.
But in any case, I posed that question myself because, you know, when you look at what kind of performances KNG has put out since he joined the team, he's actually been better at rifling than Henny is, more impactful with it. But he's also done the same thing with the ops. So he very much diminishes the main purpose of a player like Henny. But also one of the biggest you know, contributing factors to Immortals' success so far after this roster swap is the double up.
Yeah. Do you think if Henny, as long as he's not being an issue in the sense of giving away that first frag every time, if he can just, you know, just do his part, and then he has those games of pure brilliance where he can carry a match, he can have those crazy rounds that we know him for. That's the situation that you want, right?
Oh, obviously, but at that point he's taken a gigantic step towards becoming a like immensely much better player. That's not done. Yeah, that's not done overnight, because like it's really that simple. Because that's one of his biggest weaknesses. So you remove an already good player.
Yeah.
His biggest weakness. What do you get? You get a really solid player.
Well, it feels like the entry pack has kind of changed for this team, or at least the main aggressors, because obviously it was Lucas and Henny in the past, right? They were the two, and now you've got it seems more like Lucas and KNG is getting a lot more done on his own. And from that point, it feels like Henny is able to find room and find frags from there. But it's still up in the air. I think the jury's still out.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be talking more about them after that best of three, of course. We'll be seeing how it does work out for them. The Swedes, though, I like that we see Crims with his headphones in again. This is seems to be a recurring theme now. A bit of a post-match ritual. Headphones in, music playing, getting himself pumped up for what will be a rather brutal best of three. And yes, things have changed. 2 new names wearing Fnatic shirts, or at least new now. They have perhaps worn it in the past in the case of Lekro, but we get to see what Lekro and Golden are going to be contributing after the loss of not only Olof Meister, we saw him with his painting skills, but also going to see him alongside the Fnatic Academy player, now leader of the Fnatic main team, Golden.
Yeah, I think like the main theme behind this Fnatic team is that they got a new style of playing. You know, they're used to playing a little bit loose. They're used to having Olof Meister, Flusher, JW all do their own stuff. Now they accepted that it's my time to change. It's my time to give this guy in the picture right now some more responsibility and let him lead them. Let him lead them as a team and as one unit. Something we haven't seen Fnatic done pretty much ever. And I'm still questioning if he's going to be able to that, and if players like JW and Flusher is going to be coachable in that sense. You know, are they going to listen to a guy who comes from the academy team? They are, after all, major winning guys, you know, have won more than one major, you know. So there's also some like inside the team respect that you got to take into account.
Quick follow-up question, because the vetoes are on the way, but just very briefly, do you not think that enough time has passed for them to be humble just a little bit? You know, like that attitude and that discussion, sure, after Pronax did depart the team, after they searched to try and maintain their style. I'm sure
they're humble now, you know, but you don't see like you always see like a team's real character when they face the when they face the wall, basically. You know, whenever things are not working, you get to see what people are really made of. And these guys have been known for like changing out, having some internal issues, you know. So it can be hard for a guy like Golden to come in and all of a sudden get all the leadership upon him, you know, and then has to take some bullets from both Flusha and JW.
I mean, Jumpy's still around, right?
Yeah.
And he's talking more now with the DreamHack coaching rule. Maybe that it's going to be a nice little back and forth between Golden and Jumpy. But I know the maps are going. I don't want to kind of stop you guys anymore. Please do play catch up, Chad. We've got Inferno Ban and Nuke.
I think the Inferno Ban is smart. You know, if it's a map where you can get poked and prodded a lot by a double AWP setup, especially that banana control, a lot can happen in that that kind of scenario. Nuke being banned from Immortals, nothing, no surprises there, right, boys? That's just a pretty standard one that we're getting rid of. Fnatic with the cage pick is interesting because I think Immortals at times have had flashes of brilliance on that map, and they've actually been able to be very dynamic. That is one where a double AWP setup can be amazing. You have one of the A bomb site, one of the B bomb site. You can have the 3-pack in the mid with the rifles really locking that section of the map down. So that could be an interesting pick.
Another interesting choice here from Immortals is the fact that they do not opt to go with Cobble, which we saw. Again, they are already beaten.
Close, right?
Yeah, they're already beaten Fnatic on Cobble, and a game that I feel like they should have been able to close out before it ended up in a 16-14 situation. And we know that it is a very comfortable map for Immortals, but then again, Train not a bad second option either. And Fnatic banning out Overpass, that actually leaves them with the option of having Cobble as the third map.
Cobble is the only map that we have seen Fnatic play at this tournament. Right. Online, they played a total of 6 maps, so they've definitely got a little bit of everything under their belt in terms of a official. I'm using the air quotations there because it was online. But we do end up with Cobble on the third, which could be a banger because of how close that was. So if it does go the distance, this is going to be a bit of a slugfest, I think, like we saw on day 1.
That's interesting, isn't it? That you know, teams are always just a little bit more hesitant to return to a map they've successfully beaten a team on in the same tournament, typically because you don't know what's going to come out the gates the second time.
Yeah, it is much harder to you know, basically being at the top in that sense because you've done enough correct things to win the game, and that's fair enough. But you know, those teams are always going to have more to pick up from.
Khan will be happy.
Enjoys the nice monster.
Khan will be very happy with that.
Right shoulder.
No, there's definitely a lot to that, Alex. I remember at the E-League Season 1, we versus Cloud9, we beat them on Cobble in one of the earlier matches, and then in a decider match, much like this, we picked Cobble, and they had just counter-strutted everything we did. We didn't go in changing up our game plan.
What was the time period between the two?
A day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, you just thought, because we beat them quite significantly, that we thought, hey, you know, we're going to be in with a really good chance here, even if they can throw some stuff at us. We had a good buffer. In this scenario, it was really close, so that's more surprising, right? Because you can, in close games, you normally pinpoint 1 to 2 rounds as to why it was so close, what broke our economy, or, hey, did we get lucky with clutches, or did they get lucky with clutches? And in that kind of scenario, you can break down a match and go, oh, this was super close on paper, but if this went our way or this went our way, the game could have been completely different.
Yeah, and I think it is time actually to start kind of putting some money where our mouth is, or not necessarily money, but more just pride and this trophy.
The trophy is money.
It's invaluable.
There is not another trophy like it, unless you have a Hulk-footed, pink-fingered Duncan, Jason, and Henry. I don't think you do. And if you do, let's talk. Jacob, looking at you, man, I need some reasons. Just give me a reason. Tell me.
Yeah, I have 3 reasons why we are going to look out for 3 different players in this game. 3 particular reasons why these guys are interesting in this game. First off, I want to go with Steel. The fact that he's no longer the in-game leader for Immortals has been freeing his game, basically. You saw yesterday in this series against D2 how well he actually did play. You also saw in some of the earlier games at this tournament and online how well he's actually playing and how much more impact he has when he's not calling. He feels a bit more free, it seems to me. He seems to have a little bit more freedom to work around the maps, and he seems to deliver when he has that freedom. So he's going to be very interesting, and he's going to be a vital part for Immortals if they want to win this game. Second guy I want to focus a bit on is Flusha, who also used to be Fnatic's in-game leader, who's no longer the in-game leader for Fnatic now that Golden has arrived. He's also a guy who used to be a very frag-heavy player. You even talked about Flusha being one of the best players in the world 2 years ago. Ever since, we haven't really seen the same high peak level. He's still a very smart player. He still delivers great clutches. He still delivers great plays, but it hasn't been to the same extent as it was 2 years ago. So now that Golden is on the team and they actually have a dedicated leader, as they had with Pronox back in the days where Flusha was going totally off, can they maybe renew his era of playing Counter-Strike? I'm looking forward to see that, and that's definitely also going to be a vital part if Fnatic wants to win this game. And the third guy I want to focus on is the new ball Golden, and he's probably the most vital player on this server right now. He's a new guy. He has never tried this before. He's new to this level. He never ever came close to playing a match that has this much impact on his future career and on his team future career. Can he go the distance? You know, he has players like Flusher, DW, Crims, very experienced players who have won the major. Can he actually step up and take the task where he can tell them what to do in the pressure situations and actually lead this team to a victory against Immortals, who did, what is it, a month ago, play second at the major? You know, that's a huge pressure. They're also playing to play in front of their home crowd. So a lot of his rather small shoulders, and we're gonna see if he can deliver.
Damn, dude, Pimp is just summarized. That's knocked it out of the park. That was awesome, especially the golden one, because I hadn't quite considered from a personal, you know, from a player's individual standpoint. He's sitting there in that chair, mouse and keyboard in hand, going like, this is different, guys. Yeah, so who was in that? Oh, they were in the grand finals of the major. Oh, okay, cool. Who's called? I call the shots. Oh god, okay. What happens if I win? Oh, you play in front of 10,000 Swedes. You know, okay, cool. That's a lot of suddenly pressure. As long as you can clear your mind. If I'm not thinking about it, maybe
he isn't that.
I think he does yoga.
Yeah, or Pilates. Apparently, that's the real jam these days. Yeah. Do some stretching. But you've said that. You haven't given me a actual.
This is probably the most difficult of the day. You know, I thought FaZe was going to be the winner against Gambit. It turned out they didn't. This one is on paper more close than the FaZe Gambit game, I'd say. I'm gonna go for Immortals to win 2-1. I think they have what it takes. I think they have the more experience. I don't think Golden and Fnatic's whole concept of playing more structures is there yet. I also think that the individuals on Immortals are able to carry just a little bit harder than the individuals on Fnatic as of right now. You know, that might change in the future. It's still a young project, this Fnatic team, but for now in this particular game, right now, right here, I see Immortals as the strongest team.
2-1. Okay, giving some credit where it's due. Chad, I'm still up in the air. Will you help convince me one way or the other?
I think the pedigree of Fnatic are going to step up in this one, Alex. I think you've got the likes of Crims, JW, and Flusher, who have all played at the highest level time and time again. And in an environment like this, they like to shine, I think. And I would like to be in front of a Swedish crowd if I was Swedish, which I'm unfortunately not. Tack. But I really favour the maps for them in the sense of, if they look at what happened with the G2 matchup with Immortals, if you go early, you lose pistol, or it's a back and forth force buying situation, maybe stay with them but be prepared for that. Actually have some really good force buy execute set. And I think Fnatic will have made that adjustment, because if you can keep the AWPs out of KNG and Henny's hands for as long as possible and then cripple their economy, you're going to be up to a nice, pretty lead, find themselves in an 8-1 kind of scenario. That's where I think this game's going to be headed. 2-1 to Fnatic.
And on top of that, are we going to be seeing some more absurd CZ rounds?
I hope not.
Yeah, you just want to wipe the slate clean. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, let's stay away from that.
All right, well, Fnatic still have the capability to do some ridiculous things on those force buys Chad loves so much. Halvor, tip the scales.
Yeah, I'm actually going to tip it in Jacob's favor. I'm siding with him. I'm thinking this is going to be a 2-1 for Immortals. I do like the maps for both teams, but again, I think it's a benefit for Immortals, obviously, not to have made any changes, or not necessarily trying to have to adapt to a new play style and new in-game leader in that sense. Coming into a pretty big tournament, it's a massive amount of pressure on Golden, and I don't think it's fair necessarily to expect him to succeed right away in that sense. And again, I thought, as well as they said in the first best of one meeting they had, I thought Immortals should have closed that game out a bit sooner than what they ended up doing, and I think that's what we're going to see today. And I really hope they don't end up being their own worst enemies and actually do these silly buys.
And then it comes to me to go ahead and see if I can keep this thing level. Actually, you know what, Chad? I think I will.
Yeah, that's nice.
I think reasoning behind it, outside as well as the things you mentioned, is also just because we didn't get to see that Envy game. But I still think, as everyone will agree, Envy had good form coming into this. They're actually a team that have
very much so.
Yeah, I mean, very scary. Or, battling to be on par with G2. 16-13, they managed to grind out a win versus Envy, and I think we're kind of forgetting that is also a string to their bow. Another bit of experience out, as well as a 16-14 real close nail biter versus Immortals. So they have, admittedly, 2 maps, but it is still a little bit of proof in the pudding that Fnatic can fight with the big boys. And I say big boys, Immortals are intimidating as all hell. Big plays over in the major. They want to try and go ahead and get back to that stage to show it wasn't as much of a flash in the pan as I think the majority do describe it as. With all of that said, we're almost ready. The players are just getting themselves all warmed up. And so I think this is where I get to start a little bit of a fun discussion. We've done the maps.
Oh, no, okay.
Not the creamy bears.
Just a quick thing.
Oh, sure.
Fnatic were here like heaps before Immortals warmed up. They were sitting there quite bored while the other match was going on. And I looked over and Immortals weren't even there set up yet. So maybe Fnatic will be a little bit warmer.
But then here's, okay, we'll change my question entirely because I'm interested.
I'm sorry.
No. Warming up before a game. Is there such a thing, in fact, Pimp, you've done this more recently than us, is there such a thing as just overly warming up? Like, you sit there in DM, you've played probably like an hour because you really want this game to go well, you're golden, you're like, right, this is my chance, you've shot 1,000 heads on this aimbots map, and then gets to the game and you may be feeling a bit tired coming into map 3.
Could be, I think it's a very personal thing. For me personally, I didn't like to warm up for more than like half an hour max tops. I've had teammates like when I played in SK Gaming, for example, like Muddy and some of the younger guys, Magic's boy, want to play with him. They wanted to go to the arena like 3 hours before a game and wanted to sit straight down and play one-on-one, play matchmaking, play whatever, like for 3 hours straight. And I was advising against that because that takes out energy and that takes out a little bit of focus. Where I feel if you go into a tree map, that's a long time where you have to stay focused, you have to stay on point, and if you already wasted 2 hours prior to that, like spending energy, admittedly not so much energy playing matchmaking and deathmatch, right? But you still spend some. I think that can be a problem, and that's my personal take on it. There's thousands of different opinions on.
But I mean, it's not a physical sport. You don't have to limber up your body.
Mentally,
it's a mental sport. It's a mental sport.
So you're suggesting that time spent warming up is actually mentally
taxing.
Preparing yourself.
Well, it's mentally taxing or mentally
I was suggesting that we warm up for sports because we want our bodies.
You don't want to get injured.
Preparing our bodies. Whereas in this instance, it's more of a case of just physically and mentally, you don't want to be exhausted. You have to concentrate more so than anything else.
Personally, as someone who wasn't very good at aiming, I think that we used to, I think that you reach a level with aim, like with your muscle memory and everything, where it's always going to be at like the same point. Like you can warm up for 2 hours, you can warm up for 4 hours. It's not going to change, right? You've hit that point of being warmed up. And like Jacob said, that's a personal thing, whether it takes you half an hour or it takes you 45 minutes or something like that. Some people think that like if you actually play like a pickup game, that's a different scenario than just playing against bots or deathmatch or something, right? Because it gets you in the mind frame of playing an actual match, which is much different from just shooting, the AI. But I think the most important thing with going into a matchup like this is to be confident in the game plan. If you have the 3 to 5 first rounds planned out in your head, no matter what scenario goes down, everybody's a bit calmer, and then you can focus on your crosshair a bit more because you've already gone through the paces mentally of what's going to happen, what the next strat is, what's going to be called. And if something does come up on the fly, it's not so hard to adjust to because you already kind of have a good concept of the game.
And it helps with that starting strong, which we find ourselves using a bit of a buzzword here on the desk, or buzzwords. Now, before we do jump into this game, there is one man. He was eating a banana earlier on today, but he actually features within our Masters of series. This is DreamHack Masters after all, and it's my great pleasure to take a look at the Master of Nades.
Yeah, I think the most annoying players for me to play against is Sipmix and Flusher because they throw the grenades correctly and they're just like annoying players to play against.
It might just be an easy retake here.
I think it just comes down to that. He has a very good game sense and timings and stuff like that.
I am always trying to make something happen with everything I have in game.
Oh, good grenade. That's a touchdown. Look at the damage done. Oh my God, Flusher, what an incredible hold.
It just proves that he has a very good game sense.
They shouldn't fear me that much because I would get more opportunities then.
A perfect mindset to have. No, don't fear me. I'm innocent. Please, I want to keep throwing those
Come
nades.
running at me.
Yeah, I did actually. Some dude on Reddit did a huge, he did a big project after someone was talking. I think about even Moses talking about how much damage he does with HEs, and someone went through and actually watched like 3 or 4 demos and gave us the numbers, and it was something stupid. Like we were looking at, I don't know. This is top of my head, like 18, 19 rounds where he was doing something with his HEs. It's kind of absurd in a 30-round game. Let's get some other bodies involved, though. Your casters are ready and are going to be casting with all of their might to get this best of 3 and hopefully a full 3. He's not having any of it. We'll see if they are. Our casters are ready. But predictions was a 2-2 split. Yep. Myself and Chad flying the Fnatic flag. And we have got the Creamy Bears joining us. It is Anders, and it is the ever-lovely Jason Moses.
Just careful with the trophy, Alex. That thing's valuable.
I have dropped it like 3 times now, but that only makes it more valuable.
That's not good.
It's weathered now. It's an antique. It's seen the world.
Is there any chance it's also like doubling as a voodoo doll? Like, have you tried stabbing it with anything?
Maybe that's why Henry's sick at the moment.
And me.
Yeah, you're not on it, man.
Every time I start laughing, I just do this horrible witch's cackle. I apologize. I think it sounds like you guys have got your job to do, so I guess we'll love you and leave you.
Cool. Thanks, guys. See you later.
We appreciate it. So the desk is split. What do you think, Moses? Who's winning this?
Listen, I'm just really excited for... I'm thinking 3 maps. I'm thinking 4 overtimes total across those 3 maps, and I'm thinking maybe 5 gun rounds total in the entire series.
Oh, yes.
That's what I'm feeling.
Rifles, just people buying C sets.
Who needs rifles in this game?
FAMASs, yeah.
No, this is going to be fun. I honestly, I have to side with Immortals. I'm going to go with them again.
Yeah, that was going to be my pick too. I feel the way about Fnatic that I think you felt about G2 yesterday. Like, my heart's been broken too many times, you know?
Especially in this recent, 6 months or so, when they've, gotten back together and you're just like, all right, now we're finally seeing it. JW's back to his form. Olaf Meister's getting there. He's just on the verge of it, and then it just never quite comes to fruition. So.
Yeah, although speaking of C-sets, Flusher and JW used to be very good with those two, with those gardens. So maybe there could be something there. Crims, and then it's true though. The big question mark is Golden, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I haven't seen this new Fnatic lineup play quite yet. I haven't been lucky enough to watch that because I wasn't doing the European EPL. So I've heard good things. I know Yanko and Chad have talked pretty kindly about some of the transformation they've seen with Golden coming in as an in-game leader. I know it was JW said in an interview that they're doing things as a team that they haven't done since Pronex was in-game leading. So that's quite cool as well. That's very interesting, nostalgic take on Fnatic that makes us all happy. So this is my first chance, and Cache is a map that even through some of their struggles they were always pretty good on, and even when they were dominant team, they were dominant on this map as well. So a lot of good things for Fnatic going on here.
We are about to find out Fnatic versus Immortals in a best of 3 here again to decide who's going to move on and who's going to move out. Immortals on the CT side, Fnatic on the T side, and we're going to start off on Cache. Always a fun map to watch, and got a pretty conservative setup here. Looks like it could be some mid-control and maybe even some B-splitting going on here.
Yes, it's looking like the end goal, isn't it? Golden has one smoke, hasn't been put down yet. Henny's going to take the fight, and he's forced back. So not even necessarily need to use that smoke, but there's going to be one at top of highway. And actually, this is going to be a split to the B-bomb site through spawn.
Wow.
Henny can hear all this. One more smoke is going to come out. That blocks off bolts. Thankfully, that's their steal as well. Oh, he just gets destroyed, and it's Henny who's got to pick up the pieces.
So little health. This won't be easy. He falls right back into Lekro, who's waiting on the other side. Hearing it is one thing, but understanding what's going on is a different one. Now Lucas in the back trying to reload and doing the damage, but not enough to get the kill. It's still KNG in a 1 versus 3. They've stolen the USP, and they know he's coming from this angle. What a bold strategy from Fnatic, and it just works so well. KNG's gonna pick up at least the kit, and he has the smoke as well. Gonna use it early on to try and limit the angles, but they're everywhere, and they're gonna shut him down. Absolute brilliance from Fnatic. You have to just love that.
We've seen a lot of teams try and make that tactic work, right? And it very rarely has it actually worked, at least that well. That is so nicely executed. Obviously helped out by the fact they goosh Henny immediately, so he's got to play more passive. And then Steel is just dropped pretty much instantaneously by JW. But really, really good stuff. And if that's the kind of tactical calling and gutsy calling we're going to see out of Golden, this could bode very well for Fnatic.
Boost to look over the smoke here from Henny. That's very hard to spot if you're on the Fnatic side. Might just have to shoot blindly through it if you can. There's a good tag on JW, and you could even tell Fnatic weren't quite sure where that actually came from. Gonna be another one there as JW goes down. Brilliant stuff out of Immortals. Now what do they do, Fnatic? They sort of grind to a halt. They're not quite sure.
They have no mid control. The kill is just basically for free. They've gained no ground. That's got to make them feel a little bit nervous. So where do you go from here? Well, that is going to help you. Quick peek by Crims in mid, and KNG gets destroyed. There's Lekro now. He's the next one down. And does that scout on Henny want to peek again? This would be a big piece of the puzzle if they could wipe him off the map.
Looking for it, almost strafing up far enough. Tries to throw the gun over. I think that's why he was jumping back like that. Almost goes down to the scout. Down to 45 seconds, and they're making their way towards A main with the bomb. Bolts is right on the other side with the CZ 75, and Fnatic are almost out of grenades. That's the last one being thrown there, so should be an opportunity to do something here. Golden with a good kill with the UMP, taking down Bolts. That was very important, otherwise could have gone horribly wrong, but they managed to control it.
Yes, even Steel and Lucas playing over towards that B bomb site for the whole round. They didn't budge, just taking the gamble. Can't really blame them too much, but yes.
Ooh.
One kill goes out. It's a nice snap from Flusha. Well, that's maybe the warm-up that Chad was mentioning they were here a little bit earlier for than the Immortals guys, but either way, I mean, it looked promising for Immortals, and it feels like that almost should have perhaps been closer with some of the tags. That was nice. But either way, Fnatic survives it. Only one player falls. A couple players heavily damaged, but no losses. And it's just USPs for the Immortal side of things.
Yes, all grouped up in the middle. You never know what you can get. Team kill, it turns out. Classic banter. Shooting your mate in the face.
With the USP, and then just walking right into Crims. Again, another pretty clinical kill at the top of that box. And this is all easy for Fnatic. They're going to love this. A quick 3-0 going to be coming out. So Immortals Henny's the one who has a little bit of extra money. Obviously, the Opera, the Brazilian side, he's going to have that weapon in this 4th round, and they're going to try and get things started immediately. Going to be a little bit light on utility. But the Op, we saw yesterday, the Op is all they really, really desire. They're more than willing to just buy up 1 Op and 4 pistols.
Yeah, it was getting crazy, and we were sort of criticizing them a fair bit. It's great that Lucas is the one getting the kill there at the end, just getting a little bit of damage in onto the Fnatic side, just making sure that they are kept honest. Don't obviously want to let the Swedes get away with too much. And that's 3-0, leading into the 4th round here. AWP picked up on Henny. Couldn't get the second one, but maybe later.
Yeah, maybe later.
Probably.
He couldn't, I mean, Henny couldn't get anything other than the AWP. He's fully bought out. No kits on the Immortals side of things. Light on the nades as well. Fnatic have to be knowing this AWP is going to come into play. Henny just using an off angle at the highway box, just peering to the right for someone to go underneath the fence. He's going to get his wish, and there it is. Quick flick. No nades, no flashbangs to force Henny back, and it's an easy kill.
And they go for the boost on the A-bomb side as well, so they've got a pretty decent setup after all, Immortals, which is nice because they certainly don't have the utility to hold on.
And look at Steel, he's pushing up at this B-bomb site. He's got all the information, so even with mid-control, Fnatic still at a disadvantage. It's going to be a quick flank, and Lucas is rotating over, and there's the kill on the highway box.
Bolts in the corner, he's completely surrounded. They're coming in from every angle. JW with a couple of kills, and Lekro helping out, and Steel there with a flank, but it's just too late. The rest of the A-bomb site has already fallen.
That can't be happening.
No. Not after that kind of start.
Yeah, the pick and then also the information, the push from Steel. If you have 4 players here, you just essentially traded 4 players for Golden, and that's it. Great
Unbelievable.
Fnatic, yeah.
We need at some point a tutorial that tries to sort of highlight the trouble with losing highway control on the CT side. Because this happens in a lot of games where the T's will get 1 or 2 terrorists running up highway, and you can just tell, like so many of the positions that are normally thought of as being pretty strong on CT side, they just lose. Yeah, they just disappear. Like there's no reason to stand there any longer. And it happens to a lot of top teams.
I mean, you can just see how much importance that mid-control and that highway position have. The fact that Immortals even gets the opening kill, but even with that, when Henny falls off, they lose mid-control. So then it's just, you even with an advantage in player count, you're almost at a loss, aren't you? We'll have to figure that out into the future, but back onto the pistols. Fnatic looking very, very good early on in these games. Golden has them playing extremely well.
Yeah, I think especially the individual level of focus on Fnatic, you can really tell that they're zoned in. It's hard to explain why you could do that. Sometimes there are some players, when you see them play, nothing, seems to be left unturned. Like they check all the corners, they look very crisp when they peek. They don't over-peek the corners, it's just all very smooth. Fnatic's looking like that right now.
Yeah, I think it was JW that tweeted out just before this match. He's like, don't worry, I'm not going to miss the arena. So far, it's looking that way, at least in the first 5 rounds. These Deagles doing a lot of damage. There's a chance here for Henny to get 1 more kill, maybe, and then turn this around. Everyone is so low, and the flank coming in.
KNG, I think they spotted him. Crims is looking the right way, and there's no armor on KNG, and that's a big problem. Aim punch gonna shut him down. Crims with a triple, Fnatic with 5 rounds. It's looking great. There are gonna be a lot of Swedes watching this game right now thinking, please make it.
Just have the the website to buy tickets up and just wait for Fnatic to qualify.
Well, listen, I mean, we could have NIP, North, Astralis, Fnatic. There'd be a lot of Scandinavian teams playing in that arena.
That would be absolutely disgusting. Here's a little bit of a scary thing. Bolts and Steel both at 0 kills. Steel was immensely important for this Immortals team yesterday in their match against G2.
You gotta remember, this is practically Denmark that we're in. Like the Swedes, most of the Swedes don't even want Malmö at all. They don't even care.
I'm not getting involved in that discussion.
Local politics? No, definitely don't. Long history. Luca's going to be falling back here. Let's see what Immortals can do here in the 6th round. It is unbelievably disturbing that Crims has 11-1 in 5 rounds.
Or for us watching the game, it's extremely exciting because everyone loves a good game where Crims goes absolutely bonkers. And there it is again, catching the flank. He's just feeling the game so well. KNG walks right into it. That opens up the avenue if they want to fall back, because it seems like this B bomb site They wanted to go here, but they started to feel a little bit nervous. Something's not quite right, and they're going to adjust across the map. It might have been that push from KNG saying if he's going to try and jump a quick flank, they've got a pretty big lean over towards this B site.
People are going to want to know exactly what kind of warm-up Crims has been doing. He's been eating his Frosties, and he's definitely ready for this. Bolts is hiding in the MBK corner. There's only 30 seconds, and he would have to go nuclear to defend this bomb site. They're going to be coming in with at least one Molotov on Crims there, and that in itself won't be easy to defend. Lucas on the other side. Bolts gets one and double spray down, dropping Lekro and Golden. Lucas there as well. Oh my god! Bolts taking a third, and JW, the last one left. The round evaporates right in front of them. JW missing the flick, and Immortals winning the round. Nuclear play coming out of Bolts.
Yep, we called them out as well at the beginning. 0 kills into this round, but this is beautiful. Not sure why this wasn't checked. I think Golden tried to check it, and then they just lined up, unfortunately, but beautiful job from him. Lucas baiting just a little bit as well, peeking after those first 2 kills.
But so what I really thought would happen, because Crims had the Molotov, is they'd just check it hard, and that would be the round over. Like, one Molotov lands in that corner, and it's game. But Immortals showing us why they're such a dangerous team. One little misstep for Fnatic, and they capitalize on it fully now. The pace has changed. Fnatic want to run it down. KNG in the corner. Molotov to the left, and coming in from the right is Lekro. Bolts with a good return, but now he's in the shadow and can't see a single thing. Flusher takes him down. Still a 3-on-3, but should be a good bomb plant here. Grenade doesn't do too much to Golden.
Saw this kind of a play yesterday on Cash. It's so difficult to contend with as a defender. It's just the smoke's up, you're feeling safe, one pop flash through, and all of a sudden you've got 5 terrorists rushing at you. No multi-kills coming out for the Immortal side of things, and there's still utility on the Fnatic side to slow these down, to block off these choke points, and Flusha holds the key. This forklift is it.
He's doing a very good job. He's not overpeaking at all. He's so in focus right now. The rest of the team tries to go in after the flashbang. There's a smoke that covers some of that. Bomb is quite far ticked. JW gets one, but Flusha is down, and now it's all on Golden and the new guy in the back line. He's got just a little bit of time to waste. If he gets this kill, that's it. No more time, and Henny has to just try and run. Golden with the long-range spray, getting the double and earning a spot here. That's very important.
Yes, very nice. And Immortals taking a lot of time to get that retake on. That was riding the edge, copying their brethren, the SK guys, also known to be very patient in the post plants. But even without Flusha getting anything done, Immortals still can't get in quick enough. And if you're Golden, inexperienced, leading a team that's full of championship caliber players, it's going to be a nice 1-on-2 to win. That'll calm you down. Spike the nerves for just a moment as you celebrate, and then you get right back into it.
Yeah,
Immortals not going to give it up either.
I think Pimp's points were excellent about him individually having such a chance here, and also leading the veterans. I mean,
yeah,
just not an easy task, is it?
No, to be brought into a team and just say, these are the expectations we have, these are the heights we've reached in the past. Especially coming in the Swedish scene as well. He's probably been looked up and watched these guys for 3 years now, winning all these championships, all the great games they've played in.
It's about time that we see new talent coming out in Sweden, though. I feel like Denmark's been a bit ahead, but they're getting there.
Imagine that. You feel like Denmark's been ahead.
I do. Are you surprised, aren't you? No, but I mean, I guess...
I mean, that was one of the concerns. It's been brought up a number of times, is not seeing new Swedish talent, and where is it at? So we're starting to see it in both Swedish squads these days.
Yeah. Sure, Rez, Draken, Disco Doblin, now Lekro and Golden as well. Like they're popping up all over the place now. It's sure there are more that we haven't even really heard of, but they're gonna be surely coming right in after. So many people play Counter-Strike in Sweden still that it's inevitable. Steel gonna go for a bit here, but great double return from Crims and Golden. KNG in a very awkward position, left out in the open, and Golden will follow up. 2 versus 3, and Bolts, he's trying to get the blind shot through the smoke and unable to complete that task, so bomb being brought in slowly. As long as Henny's alive, I feel like this could still be around. They've got to be careful here.
Oh, Fnatic's played this so well to get to this point. No reason to give it up now. They're going to get in good post-plant positions. 2 players in the site. Lekro is the insurance policy. Once they figure out that Henny is here, because they already know Bolts is around, that'll give them all the intel, and with no kits, they need a kill, and I think they're giving up already. Bolts is already in CT spawn. No one peeking from Fnatic. Anders, this is sick. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Fnatic early on in this game, and I'm starting to see what's causing guys like Sponge and Yanko to talk them up after early returns in Pro League.
Yes.
This is not that like individual take a fight, find a gap, that Swedish style that we came to really appreciate that only Fnatic could pull off. This is a good mix of tactics in here as well.
Well, it really felt like the earlier Fnatic squad, and there was, I think we were sort of loosely criticizing that even when they were at their highlight streak and winning everything. It's
right.
You know, it's like if you're playing the whole game off of confidence and having a good gut feeling about what you're doing and people are laughing, it's like you always have to wonder what happens when that doesn't work anymore. Like, how can you bring it back? If you can base the fundamental of the game on plays like this, then so much the better.
That was right. We mentioned for a long time, as soon as Olof has kind of a downturn in his individual performance, that team was going to be in trouble, and I think we kind of saw that over the past 6 months kind of come to fruition. Finally, it took much longer than we expected. Regardless, this is a completely different style we're seeing brought out here.
Classic double smoke into the middle, popularized by Hellraisers a long time ago.
And obviously KNG thinking that's usually used to block people to get over towards Vent, and maybe when it's fading with just the pistol trying to make some kind of a play. Again though, inadvisable when you have Henny with an AWP and you have Bolts with the M4. Let them take that contact.
And they need to hold on to the rifles. Henny is sort of alone over at A, looking in towards middle, thinking he could get someone there. Bolts, I feel like, won't be able to help out Henny if it's a real A attack here. If they come in through main and highway, then Henny gonna have a lot of angles, although he's sort of an expert at that.
And he's kind of hiding his presence, right? He's not like holding the angle. There it is, nice peek, and he's gonna go back, waiting for the return. Not gonna come from Lekro. And look at the minimap. Fnatic sees the op and like, we're getting the hell out of Dodge. Back to the B-bomb site, boys, and it's wide open. It was a full rotation, an evacuation from Immortals, and now they're out of position.
They are. Good Molotov to buy time. That's very important here.
That was a team Molotov. That's a bad Molotov.
Oh, I thought that was from the... I actually thought that was one of the Immortals saved one. Well, that is no good at all. Flusher is going to get one, and a team kill as well on top of the team Molotov. Eventually, Immortals going to win the round.
Yeah, a little bit of disaster there for Fnatic. Got a little... rotating back, trying to make it happen, and just kind of losing track of positioning.
I need to see through that Molotov because I was thinking, wow, that's really good timing.
I'm pretty sure that was a team Molotov. Not feeling good.
All right then.
Maybe talking it over. Like, let's not throw fire in ourselves and then shoot each other in the face. I mean, they're out of money.
Yeah, so a bit of a stumble, giving a bit of a chance here for Immortals to do something else. 7-2 scoreline, and that did look funny.
Well, Immortals, aggression as always. KNG boosted up.
Lekro wants it. Stand up. Oh, they're all waiting for him, but somehow he lives.
Yeah, I don't know how he just got away there. Nade coming over as well. A lot of damage dealt to the Fnatic side. Nice job by KNG, even with 20 HP left. Very fortunate to get out. They're going to swap the AWP over. He'll take a little bit more of a passive angle.
I mean, they've just won a round, Immortals, so you want to get out of this round with everybody alive. Like, if you can lose no rifles, then that's the beginning of something here. Henny calling it in for steal. I'm going to get the headshot on Golden. So far surviving the Deagles and leaving Lekro and JW to wander the map a little bit longer.
They'd love a bomb plant right now. 2 Deagles on the course. KNG's at a little bit of a headshot angle out towards the truck. Here comes Bolts. Nice tagging from him in long range spray. It's going to be a 3rd round for Immortals.
1 health on Bolts at the end. Cutting it close.
As long as all 5 survive, we're okay.
Yeah, this is brilliant. I mean, Immortals, they're starting to build an economy. There's 7,000 on Bolts, almost 6,000 on Henny. So, you know, there's something to work with here, even if they start to lose. We have not even seen the double up yet, but it could be coming out eventually if they feel the need to. Fnatic grouping up fairly quick outside of B.
Yes, they are. And we saw this over at A. Just a group up and 1 pop flash through. Is it going to be the same here? Peek in the corner together, getting a little bit closer. That nade is unfortunate, but here it comes. They're going to swing out wide.
Right for the smoke. Counter grenades are coming out. Lucas hiding in the corner. Steel is there as well. Lucas picking up 1 big kill. Steel with the other one, and a nice headshot from Steel to take down Crims. They've managed to hold on to it. This is actually a brilliant defense being put up by Immortals. I'm quite impressed Normally not a big fan of that corner that Lucas is standing in, but he's made it work, and now they don't really have to fight Fnatic. No reason to be peeking this any further. You can shoot through that wall with the AWP, but only a short while of it. Otherwise, you're going to be shooting into the thicker part of the wall there. Golden gets a shot on bolts, but still, it's a 1-on-3. Gets another headshot in there now. It's getting much too expensive for the Immortals team. A third one coming in. Golden! What on earth is going on? He's got 25 health, and Lucas is down the default position. He's got 40 seconds here, Golden, and the bomb. He could run if he could actually get out. He's waiting for it. Lucas, is he starting to doubt himself? He's fallen back from the angle. I think he's thinking that Golden has fallen further back and is now running to the A-bomb side. This mind game is out of control. Golden, is he inside of the Matrix right now? Walking onto the B-bomb side. Completely mind gaming Lucas. This is the next level, isn't it?
What a baller. That whole time I'm just thinking, why don't you go back to the B-bomb site? Just try and go get the plant, and he just destroys everyone. Now in a one-on-one, and Lucas has to hurry. No nades for him. Does have a kit, though.
Golden walking close. SAP, you have to assume the biggest clutch of his really early career. Hiding at a bit of an off angle. Lucas walking in, and Golden gets shot in the face. He very nearly does it. What an incredible attempt there. That should have never been that close.
No, it really should have. He found so many one-on-ones, but I mean, despite that, yes, those are mistakes that you can capitalize on, but it's amazing that he's actually able to do it in sequence like that quickly without taking too much damage, without falling. And that's the kind of situation where your teammates, that's when someone like JW and Flusha just turn to you and they say, sick round. I mean, look at the economic damage. This is a nice attempt no matter what. Look at this shot right here. That is stellar.
This is so well played. Look at the peak from Lucas.
Yes.
I mean, you just don't expect that, do you?
No, Lucas is so dedicated at that point just to clearing out that side. Obviously doing a fast peek in case someone's holding the angle inside the bomb site, and just tough to hit for Golden.
Well then, 12th round is coming up now. 4-7 as the scoreline. Immortals winning the last 3 in a row. Fnatic out of money. Finally.
I like this, though. I like the buy-up of the Tech-9s, the Deagle, the CZ. You just saw Golden almost winning a 1v4, getting it down into a 1v1, so you want to keep the money low. You want to get 2 to 3 kills this round. It's only really Bolts and Lucas that have a lot of money on the Immortal side of things, so keep grinding that away. And they've lost 3 in a row, so the losing bonus is going to build up to where they can make the money back off this half-buy pretty quickly.
Getting into the vent again with that double smoke in middle. Gotta love that. Steel easily taking care of that part of the push, and that means this round is done. Flusha, CZ in the corner, and another team kill. What's that, the third we've had in this game?
That's the third. It's not bad. You can see, just laughing it off.
They're loving it. 5-7. And now the 13th round coming up. Fnatic, not the best buy in the world, but good enough.
No, what's really worrying for Fnatic, though, is, or maybe it's just the fact that Immortals finally took them 5-6 rounds to get into the swing of this game, because they've been dominating this recently. That's now 4 rounds in a row, and outside of that that Golden 1v4, it hasn't looked like Fnatic's been too impactful. Here's mid-control again. Lekro going to lead the way. Spamming into the smoke, it's Henny they got to worry about. How much does he want to commit?
KNG wins a fight, and Steel will take down Crims. It's Golden with the 1 return, and they're so quick up, trying to see if they can get through, but Bolts is connecting very well with that M4, taking him down as he's trying to get up the ladder. And saw the second player too. Lekro not standing a chance at all. Immortals now at 6 rounds. Giving them just a little bit here. 5 rounds in a row for them. And they're going to have money for the rest of the game.
Yes, they are. I think it's time for Fnatic to take a little time out and figure something out, talk things over, because I think this calling is starting to get a little bit away from Golden. The first half, the way they opened this half was great, but now you're starting to see all of these fast-paced rush, and you're doing this against an Immortals team that has all the utility in the world. They have the ability to delay the fight, smoke something out, drop a Molotov, throw nades, whatever it could be, and then you're just at such a disadvantage. You want to see Fnatic kind of slow the pace down just a little bit, do what they were doing before, get into position. They've had those full executes towards the B bomb site. They've had some of those executes towards the A bomb site. But tactically getting into position before you do it, and KNG now being aggressive, he's getting confident. He's the one who pushed into A main last round to get the opening kill. This time it doesn't work out, though.
Bit of a Molotov coming in. Steel spotting out Lekro, who is hiding in the corner, and now JW's waiting in the angle, hoping that someone's going to come and challenge it. Deagles definitely want to try and avoid them if you can. Steel being flashed into main, in fact. That's a big risk after already being a man down. He's done 6 health, trying to see if he can escape. No more team kills, please.
That's exactly what Steel's thinking. It's funny last time. I'd be a little bit angry in this round. Well, you come some utility in mid, and Fnatic still hasn't picked where they want to end this round up. Flusha just waiting for a flank at the B bomb site, so he's keeping that as an open option, and there's Lucas to clean off Crims. JW and Golden trying to make the cross, but the AK's out in the open. He's got to commit to that fight, and there's another pickoff for Fnatic. They haven't even tried to make progress into a bomb site just yet, and Immortals have 2 players over at B. They have to figure out where this attack is going to come from, and they have to do it quick.
JW gonna get the kill on Steel. Henny, quick shot there. Lekro with the return. Makes it a one-on-one, but with only 10 seconds left, he's gonna go for... Oh my god! Lekro! Instant headshot! You peek out like that, you miss the first shot, you're done.
That is so nuts. What a shot. And he doesn't even have a reaction. No expression whatsoever.
This is nuts, isn't it?
That's jaw-dropping. That decision to swing out so wide with the Deagle, and you're exactly right. One missed shot there, and it's gone. So Fnatic, with that brilliance out of Lekro at the end, they take advantage of the half, or they take control of the half. They're going to win this at least with 1 round advantage.
Henny going for that while the smoke was up in main. It's a good idea. Without that smoke in main, it gets very dangerous to peek in like this, but Flusha going to get the better of Steel. Getting adventurous.
Adventurous is a nice way to put it.
Listen, Moses.
Going for like the Batman jump through smoke. Flusha, his first response, he gets that kill. It's not even passed on information. He's like, what is this guy doing?
Oh, man. Whatever you can say about this sort of Counter-Strike, you can't say it's boring, can you?
No, it's definitely not.
It's been a wild ride the first 14 rounds.
And I like this Fnatic calling the pause in the mid-round. There's been a lot that you've seen. I mean, it seems like they're used to the fact that KNG was getting aggressive during certain points of these rounds. Some of the informational peaks and gathers that Immortals was going for in previous rounds that have given them such an advantage. That's what they're waiting for now, and it's not coming. But still, at least they haven't been punished by anything whatsoever. And now Immortals needs to know where Fnatic is heading, and a missed shot by Henny. Lekro takes him down. KNG's the only one left here, and he has an ult, but he's going to get smoked off.
An incredibly wide peek from Lekro. It's not normal you see that. Could have been a double shot there. There was actually a guy behind him, Flusha, up on the forklift, and he's going to get another headshot, taking down KNG, and that leaves Lucas to go down to Crims in the middle, 9-6 in favor of Fnatic here for the first half. This was just very fast-paced Counter-Strike, and I mean, Fnatic should be happy getting those 9 rounds. They did a fine job in the beginning. It's 16 kills on Crims, Golden on 12, and Bolts on 13 on the other side. I'm kind of shocked, I really am.
Yes, this is a cool way to start this game out. I like it. Crims, like you mentioned right at the beginning, had a pretty blistering start to this game. Cooled down a little bit, but obviously still just keeping it consistent. And then, yeah. I mean, Immortals, it took them a while to figure out how to kind of handle this, and it wasn't really the ops that we saw coming through for the massive victories. Like, I don't think Henny was particularly impactful. KNG, I don't think they didn't even go for the double op setup, oddly enough, on this map.
No, they didn't
maybe
want to.
Maybe once or twice.
No, I think maybe once. I don't think it was very much. They weren't too much into it.
I'm just taken off. I'm just taken aback by the opening to that half that Fnatic had. How it was a very strategic, and then they started going for the fast-paced uppercut styles, which was not as effective. But that tactical opening was great.
Well, the madness is all-consuming here as we are leading into the second half. Immortals and Fnatic, and a bit of a cautious buy coming out here for both sides. Bit of utility on 2 players, but the rest are just armor and pistols. Looks like a double boost in middle. Triple boost, is that what it is?
Yes, triple boost.
Wow.
3 players there. Where's the bomb going to go? They do have 2 flashbangs. There's going to be a smoke to block off Flusha, so JW is isolated. He's at sandbags. Flusha's going to try and get some attention with those shots. It's not going to work. It's all on JW. He's got to get all the kills. They're not clearing him out. Lucas is still watching for it. That's a tough shot to hit. And JW's still alive. Flusha's going to try and help him out. It's not going to work. What a battle that was, though.
Wow, the power of one single smoke. They just couldn't do anything. Steel going to take down Golden. Flusha with one return. Crims goes down. And now Lekro and Flusha, 2 versus 4. This is great execute from Immortals. Incredibly well thought out, and they managed to do it just in time. No reason really to go and fight Fnatic right now. Just don't give them the fight until the bomb is much lower down, and they're going to win it against Lekro first, and next in line is Flusha. So that was well done. That round should go in the Counter-Strike handbook, shouldn't it? That's how you want to use the smokes.
Yes, just isolating. Flusha can do absolutely nothing from that position. You could see he wanted to as well. And it's just, I mean, even so, JW probably against another team may get some kills in that situation, but it's the fact that Lucas is just running backwards up highway, like keeping his eye on those sandbags just for that peak. And when he spots it, everyone stops and turns around and takes that fight. They don't just let one person duel. So pretty good stuff from Immortals. And now CZs and Armor on Fnatic. Deagle on Crims. Should probably pass that over to Lekro.
I was going to say.
Was it Lekro, I think, that's had like a 1v5 with the Deagle on this map or something like that?
He has had, throughout his, I mean, he's even had a short career, but even then he's had some incredible highlights with the Deagle. We did see him in the 1v1 earlier, so no, he could do it. See if Crims is going to be able to land a 1 Deagle of his own. Well, there it is. Lucas is no more.
Oh, he's gone. Nice shot from Crims.
So, I mean, you said it earlier, so satisfying, isn't it? It's a good return from KNG. JW getting a bit too aggressive maybe in the middle. Crims is ready for more. He's ready for round 2.
Just that 1 Deagle kill just seems to have frozen Immortals. From there, they didn't really know what to do. Flush is going to start flanking, and they've got to get over to that B bomb site. Here it is, Lekro for the peak, but he would have loved to have that kill. It's not going to come in. It's all on Golden. The young in-game leader, we saw him almost win a 1 versus 4 earlier, but they've taken so long to get into the site that he's feeling a bit nervous and goes for an early peek. From here, I think Flusha just tries to save that AK.
Yeah, it's a good idea. AK, Deagle as well. I mean, still valuable in the next round.
Kit as well on Flusha.
It's very true. What we never see, Moses, ever. I mean, this is obviously just my level of insanity. But never see someone pick up a smoke and just try and go ninja defuse. Never happens anymore.
Yeah. I think most teams, I think we've seen too many amazing ninjas that people just don't think it's even a possibility anymore.
I just feel like when it goes away for long enough, like when it hasn't happened for like a year or something, that's when you do it.
Yeah, but we had like 2 of them. I think we talked about this yesterday. We had like 2 of them at Katowice this year. Or was it last year?
I think it was last year.
Maybe it has been about a year.
I think it's been a while.
Oh.
I want to say it's been a while. I've missed them, I guess what I'm trying to say. It is risky. I'm not going to deny that.
I mean, it's, in terms of like monetary investment, it's not too bad, right? It's just chances are just extremely low.
As they are for Fnatic in this round, although they managed to get the perfect grenade in on Henny and he gets taken out. Good spray from KNG. Looking for even more out of this fight, and he's going to get it. Could even go for a bit more, though he's dropping low on health. There is some backup coming in. Golden, last one left. Eventually, will be Lucas to clean it up there, tying up the scoreline.
It was Kerrigan who had the last one.
Was it?
Against SK on Overpass.
Oh, you could be right on that.
Yes. The unintentional ninja, he was just going to search for a gun and then just thought, well, I'll just try for the bomb.
The unintentional.
Just trying to upgrade from an SMG. Regardless.
He didn't choose the ninja life? It chose him?
It chose him.
9-9,
Anders. We're getting into it now, into the thick of things. Henny has a MAC-10, and this is going to be a fast-paced round. Bolt's just trying to bounce a flashbang, but didn't want to go through. Some nade damage taken by Immortals on the boost. And this is the same setup as the pistol round. We'll see if it works out any differently.
Oh, God.
So he doesn't have smoke. So
yeah,
he's just going to die.
That's so unfortunate. Just as he was there and you were talking, I looked and I just saw 2 flashbangs on his inventory, and I thought, oh, well, that's it.
It was a nice attempt.
And again, the smoke is up in middle, which means Flusher's on the other side thinking, it does smell kind of crispy. Someone's having a barbecue.
I wish I could help, man. You're on your own. Well, this is bad news because Krims is at the truck, and that's the only defense they have at this A bomb site. He's going to get blocked off, obviously.
Save it?
Yeah, you should just save here already.
Flush just doesn't really feel like it, and he goes down to steal, and now the grenades are going to come running in, so now they're definitely going to get forced back. All of them on the way, getting chased a bit by Henny, who's being a real annoyance, sniping away with the MAC-10. Krims gets one in the middle. The Immortals really want to hunt them down. They're losing quite a few players. And now Fnatic starting to run back. Golden's the only one with the kit, and he's the furthest one away, so it'll still take them a long time to get here. Bolts trying to hold on for a moment. Krims gets one more kill, and Bolts there to clean it up, getting a couple and shutting down Krims as well for the triple. They barely hold on. It's a very expensive round for Immortals, but...
It's almost a shame that Krims had so much success in mid, just popping off those 2 kills, and they get one more, and then they get sucked into the idea that they can actually go for that. There was still plenty of time for the defuse, obviously, if they get those kills, but instead it goes the other way, and they get wiped out. I have to say, I mean, we touched on it when we saw JW just burn from 100 to 0. I don't know why you play that particular setup if you don't have a smoke. That's just a common way to take mid, is to have a Molotov go to sandbags.
It is asking for trouble, isn't it?
It is.
Long range spray, grenade to follow up, and Lecro is no more. Well done by Bolts. And they're going to realize that Fnatic really don't have a lot to fight with here, so good chance for Immortals to extend their lead. Just a bit more flusher, though. We'll take down KNG. Luca's ready to take the fight at Squeak if anyone is up for that. At least they can't steal that AK back from KNG's corpse yet.
Yet. This is pretty crazy from Immortals. I mean, these aren't even really... They're just playing a little bit of a default style to start these rounds. And then just taking duels, like individual duels in different places and finding a kill here. They're just finding picks across the map. So that's quite nice for them.
Well, everyone knows where Golden is right now with a famous Nico headshot position. He's got the deagle as well. And here they come. There's one, taking down Henny. More to challenge, a second one from Golden. And he's looking for more now. He's backing up into the bomb site. Can he really do this again? Looking for the third headshot, but backup is coming in quick as well. He might have overextended, and Bolts will take him down. Bolts with a second headshot, dropping Flusher. He's doing everything he can. It's back-to-back triples for Bolts, and all on Krims. Deagle on his own for a 1 versus 2, but they have to commit. There's only 17 seconds, and Lucas going to try and cross, and he's successful in that. So that's the bomb going to be going down, and now Krims is in trouble. Oh my god! Taking down Bolts! This game is unbelievable. At this level, Lucas now going to be falling back into checker. I'm surprised he has the nerve for it. And Krims wants to go and look for him. He's not expecting it, and he's going to get shot down. Jesus Christ, Moses. What is going on?
Oh, great reposition from Lucas. Obviously, the planter gets out of the bomb site. Golden almost able to do this, but again, you could see a little bit of the young nerves, right? We saw it earlier in the CZ in the bomb site when he was the only one there, peeking a little bit too soon. This time, he just overextends, thinking they've gone the other way. You can't fault him for that mistake, but Krims is just believing since he spammed one in checkers, the other guy's the planter inside the bomb site. Unfortunate, but they have been causing a lot of damage to this Immortals economy, at least keeping it from growing, but the longer this game goes on, the less that matters. They need a win soon.
So many grenades exchanged in middle here from both teams. Golden in the vent, there to shut down Lucas, and now the push is onto the A-bomb site. KNG with a great opening, taking down Krims, and the action is going to continue. There's more than a minute left, but Immortals are just such an aggressive team. The bomb is down. What a quick take, and we're both still in the middle. Lecro has to win this fight in the middle, otherwise it's not going to work out. It might not anyway. JW's down. Lecro is down. Man, Bolts is an unbelievable champion at this point in time. He's got 25 kills in 21 rounds, and he was doing it yesterday as well.
Yeah, this is pretty sick. Out of Bolts, that's a great round. And you can see another timeout coming out of Fnatic. Golden's going to call that one. They're getting wiped out across this map. It's been 6 straight for Immortals, and Fnatic cannot get a hold of this now that they're not able to dictate where the action comes from. This time, it's just Krims, who's unfortunately the only defender at that A bomb site. And the aggressiveness of Immortals just catches him off guard. He's the only one there, no one else to help him out, and he has no indication it's coming. They just swing into the bomb site. It's just lost before there's any real knowledge that attack is coming, and that's the real pain for Fnatic, is they have no chance of rotating in a position. They have no chance of actually getting to the site to help out, to delay the plant. It's just the pace of Immortals when they decide to go.
This is really something else. I want this to go to all 30 rounds, but the thing is, the economy for Fnatic might be the thing that stops that from happening. Immortals seem to be hitting a really high level at the moment. They've got quite a lot of money, 10,000 in the bank for bolts, and Fnatic just don't. Lekro, wanting to see if he could do one better with the Deagle. He's going to smoke it up for a moment, and fire is raining down on all sides of him. Still doing a good job controlling this. A little bit of damage onto him. Henny gets a kill on Flusher, and now they're going to get overrun. Lekro's got the one kill in here, but the bomb is actually down quite fast, so I guess Immortals have to commit to the bomb side, but they should still have a very good chance of doing this. And even then, KNG's coming in with a big flank here, so if they just wait right now, this is going to cancel itself out. There's KNG ready to close out the round. Oh, you see, I was going to say, don't knife the new guy. That's just rude, isn't it? Lekro, going to be in a lot of trouble. KNG to close it out. Well done on his part. 13-9. I'm surprised. I would have thought Immortals would have kept fighting even with KNG flanking. So,
no, they let him get. They make it easy.
You laugh, but I'm serious. Like they're the sort of team that would do that. So I'm happy to see that.
The nice thing is they were fighting without progressing too quickly into the bomb site, right? Like they noticed there was a minute and like 10 seconds left on the clock, and it's just as soon as that smoke fades, they've got an AWP that can peer at those choke points. Bolt's going to go with it this time. Yes, he is. He gets out into mid very, very quickly. He's already in vents. That catches Fnatic off guard. There goes Lekro. Golden with the response. How much of the aggression is going to be kept up by this Immortals team? It's been... Look at this. They're just spread across the map. Henny in one place. Steel over in vents. KNG in A main. Lucas in doors. Everyone just taking whatever fight they feel like. That's the bomb down.
Explain that, Moses.
That one I can't explain. I'm not going to lie to you.
All right.
I mean, he's obviously trying to make it to the B bomb site to go with Steel into the B site, right? But just, I mean, you're just kind of crossing your fingers and running the gap in that middle.
Gone full Bill O'Reilly on us. Can't explain that. Lucas, 1 versus 4. I'm definitely not loving this round for Immortals. I mean, it is fun and crazy, but then you see them all just fighting individually all across the map and losing the fights, and it looks really weird. Crims takes down Lucas, and now we're at 13-10. Well, they have the money, I guess. That's the upside.
Yes, they have plenty of buys left in this after that loss. Yeah, this is just curious. Like, here's the crazy thing is he could have just not gone out mid. He could have just rotated over to the B bomb site safely, like through the traditional route by Sunroom.
Yes. Don't know what to say, really. Well, hopefully a return to sanity. Good wallbang coming out. But then they just keep it coming. Flusher getting shut down to half health for no apparent reason. Bit of a lax defense on the A-bomb side. Crim's the only one currently there. It's not the end of the world, I think. Flusher's nearby.
No, he is nearby. He's on highway. And obviously a lot of faith in Crims. We've seen him in the past for Fnatic be the anchor of the various bomb sites he's played in. Not a whole lot of players have done it better in the history of CSGO, but still being challenged here just by the aggressiveness of the Brazilians. No picks found for either team in the early stages of the round, as Immortals, like we've said, spread out in that default, take some individual fights, make some presence known everywhere on the map.
What are Flusher and Crims doing? They're both standing right on top of each other.
Holding hands?
Yeah, we've seen that from Virtus Pro and it just didn't work out very well.
Virtus Pro had 3 players here.
It's true. Counter grenades coming out now. They're going to get run down by Immortals. This is such a hard angle to hold because they're going to be swinging very wide and you're going to have just too many players to shoot at. There's Steel with a headshot on Crims, and A bomb side's gone right away. 3 versus 5. A good shot from Golden. Need a lot more of that right about now if they want to even dream of retaking this. On the other hand, if they don't, Immortals are going to be dangerously close to winning this, and Fnatic just don't have the money. JW with a good kill. Dropping 1 and picking up an M4 instead, and the Swedes Still fighting for this, but he's not quick enough, and Bolts will take him down. And now all on Lekro. They're low on health, but not low enough. Steel will win the round with a triple. That's 14 rounds here for Immortals. I don't understand the idea of having two people standing out in the open behind that container. I don't think it's viable.
No, it's really not, because you're giving up too many angles, aren't you? I mean, there's no real ability that you can work together, and you're giving up, you know, Immortals being able to swing into the site and grab the stronger angle. So it's just kind of like a weak defense, isn't it? You're also not setting up any crossfires, which is one of the strengths if you have someone in quad or in the fence corner, and then someone at the forklift. That AE defense in this second half has been quite suspect, and that might have been the backbreaker, because Fnatic 1-1 and then lost immediately afterwards. We all know what that means. Crims has the AWP with no armor. There's two Famas, two CZs out, and if Immortals win this one, Fnatic will be truly broke.
In spite of that, they put a bit of aggression into middle, trying to keep Immortals honest and force them to check all the angles, check all the corners now. They're stacking a bomb site. Huge risk, huge pressure on Lekro.
No, this is something that they could have done when they had the rifle buys. Now they're doing it with CZs, which is, you know, a mid-round pop flash into A main, get some information. Golden's all the way pushed up. He can have a quick flank. He's going to go for a peek now. Not committing all the way, though. And meanwhile, they've lost mid-control. Immortals might have just put him in checkmate, because 4 players rotating over to the B bomb site for Fnatic.
Oh, KNG would see his shadow if he came down that stair. So just waiting. Golden. This is all a question of intuition. This is where you'd normally say you'd have to be a very experienced player to make this work. Crims, Molotov gonna land on him. They almost line up, but he doesn't get the kill. Jumping up, and Henny with the return instead. Taking down Flusher and fighting through the flames. Henny gonna come out on top, and he's still fighting, taking down JW through the window of the truck and going for a bit more. He wanted all of it that round. Henny hungry for the frags. Bolt's gonna get the last one. That puts him at 30 kills in 25 rounds. 15-10 in favor of Immortals here. This game has been mad. Fnatic so far have 1 round in the second half.
And I'll tell you why. They're giving Immortals way too much space. They're allowing them to do whatever they possibly can. And yeah, that bullet just going through the corner of the wall. Otherwise, that would have been a kill. But Immortals has never been pushed. They've never been made to feel uncomfortable on this T side. They've been able to just kind of spread out one by one and just do whatever they need to individually. And then they all group up towards the end of the round and hit something, and Fnatic never has any idea what's coming. Not doing enough, Fnatic, to throw Immortals out of their game. Like we said, completely broke after this. All pistols for the Fnatic side. They have to buy just every single round. No head armor, no kits whatsoever on that CT side. 1 smoke left. Dire situation here for the Swedes.
They know it, Immortals. Again, that 1 smoke that lands towards middle, making it very tricky. Oh my god, what a read. JW is going to be furious with that one. Good counter flash coming in, but KNG still there to get the kill and almost transferring on for the triple E. Finally gets taken out by Flusher, but you have to think that it might be too late here. 3 versus 4. They just don't have the firepower to stop this incoming push up the highway. Flusher's down, and on the bomb side itself, Crim's the only one alive. Deagle not powerful enough, and Lekro is miles away.
Yes, this is going to be all it on this map. Almost no chance Lekro can make it work, and he's going to try to, but it should be Immortals taking map 1 in this series, as we've said before.
Wow, 16-10 in favor of Immortals as they take down Fnatic on the first map on Cash here. I mean, this is just an incredibly entertaining game, but what a comeback from Immortals, honestly. That was such a strong start for Fnatic. Looked like the Brazilian team were a bit slow out the gates, but they got there in the end, and once they got there, I mean, it was explosive.
It was as Chaz said, right? Like, Fnatic showed up a little bit earlier in the day to warm up. Immortals hasn't quite here yet, and it took them 5-6 rounds to get into it.
Yeah.
But once they did, it was just, you could see night and day difference, especially that second half, man. Immortals got to do whatever they wanted. But still some very interesting brawlish type rounds that we knew we were going to see.
Yeah, 31 kills on Bolts, but a lot of positive signs. Like, I still think Fnatic looked really tuned in with their aim. And the fact that Golden was playing well, I really enjoyed that. Crim's obviously having a great game. So there's lots of positives, I think, for the Swedish team.
Yes, their goal for the next map, obviously, is that CT side, put up more of a defense, get more information. You have to be more active on the map, more proactive, get some of the peaks, some of the picks, and see where that goes, see where that takes you.
It's going to be exciting. We'll be right back with map number 2 after the break. Stay with us.